Good afternoon and welcome to Countrywide on Benue Television. My name is Winifred Yusu. On the headlines, Governor Alia charges federal institutions to support renewed hope agenda of the federal government. UAE lifts travel ban on Nigeria travelers. Plus, federal government to transform power sector. Governor Hassan Talia has charged board members of federal institutions for Benue State to support the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's federal governments to succeed. The governor gave the charge Saturday at Benue Hotels, Makurdi, during a civic reception in honor of Benue Sons appointed as board chairman and members of federal institutions by President Bola Tinubu. Our correspondent Emmanuel Akula covered the event for Benue Television and filed in this report.
It is a civic reception organized by concerned Benue youths to celebrate Benue Sons appointed board chairman and members of federal institutions by President Bola Tinubu. Governor Hassan Talia, who facilitated these appointments, says he remains grateful to the president for finding Benue Sons worthy to be part of his development team. Represented by the secretary to the state government, Professor Joseph Alakali, the governor describes the appointees as high-profile individuals with different experiences in their endeavors who are ready to render selfless services to the nation. He calls on the appointees to see the opportunity to be on the boards as a means of attracting development, urging them to represent the interests of the state, even as they cooperate with his government to attract development to Benue State.
The government of Benue State is grateful to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, for approving his nominees on the boards of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. And we remain indebted to the President for this. Having this opportunity to be on the board to represent Benue State in different institutions, we believe that this great man will do us proud.
One of the appointees, who is the chairman, governing council of the Federal Polytechnic Oko, Chief Barnabas Gemade, on behalf of the other members, promises their resolve to ensure that Benue receive its worth as they key into Mr. President's renewed hope agenda. Chief Gemade believes that himself and the colleagues are only blazing the trail of more federal appointments to Benue State.
I want to assure all the Benue people that these ambassadors that have been selected so far by His Excellency the Governor to be appointed to boards of tertiary institutions are only blazing the trail, and a lot more is coming behind us.
Different speakers at the event, including the chairman of the occasion, Mr. Innocent Ikomunu, Chair Lady Doris Iyo, and Mr. Emmanuel Yobe, all described the appointments as part of President Bola Tinubu's support to Benue State, charging the appointees to serve Nigeria and the state in line with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government.
These appointments are called to patriotism and national service, and in light of this, hereby urge them to go out there and make us proud by using their position to contribute in no small measure to growth and development of our dear tertiary institution.
Guest speaker at the event, Emmanuel Jime, relates the topic, Benue's development agenda, to the disposition of the first and second civilian governors of the state for the precedence of quality governance in the state. The honorees at the civic reception include Chairman, Governing Council of Federal Polytechnic Oko, and Chairman, Forum of Chairmen, Board of Federal Institutions in Nigeria, Chief Barnabas Gemade, Major General Lawrence Onoja as Chairman, Governing Council, Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa State, Chief Hingabiem, Board Member, National Open University, and Tekimbe Kanga as Board Member, Federal Polytechnic Taraba State. Others are Chief Nelson Alapa as Board Member, University of Ibadan, Joe Abagu, Board Member, Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, while Chief Atsinda Ishwa is to serve as a Board Member, Federal Polytechnic, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Now, St. Francis Primary School, Agidi Mbatiav in Boku local government area is to be rebuilt immediately by the Benue State government. Governor Hassan Tolia made the announcement Sunday at St. Veronica's Parish, Agidi, during the 50th priestly anniversary of Father Dominic G. Our correspondent Emmanuel Akula again has the report.
St. Francis Primary School, Agidi, is the institution where Governor Hassan Tolia received his primary education. According to the governor, his decision to rebuild the school is to provide indigent children the opportunity to have access to formal education the way he did. Governor Aliahu recounts the role Father Dominic G played in his life as a priest, calls on the church to make provisions to accommodate aging priests after their service to the church. While praising Father G's priestly ministry that has served as inspiration to younger priests, Father Alia says the celebrant's milestone is a testament to his unwavering commitment to serving God and his people, which he has done with love, humility, and dedication. In a homily, Reverend Father Osbert Viashima acknowledges Father G's role in the translation of the Bible in Tiv language to enhance the propagation of the gospel in Tiv land. Father Viashima proposes reconsideration of a section of the canon law that prohibits Catholic priest involvement in politics, calling on the bishops to approach the Holy See to look into that section of the law to allow Catholic priests to represent the sensibilities of the church in politics while practicing as priests. He appeals to spiritual and traditional leaders to review burial rites in the land, with the view to addressing big and long ceremonies for the dead.
We acknowledge and affirm the good governance happening in our state today at the instance of one of us, the priests, the Reverend Father Isaac Alia, the Executive Governor of Benue State. And we assure him of our continued prayers, even as he's representing us very well and is poised to do more. That a second priest has had to come out again for civil governance speaks volumes about the quality of Christians we have so far produced. What lessons must we learn from this scenario? So, I appeal to our fathers to look the other way and shift their swords and close ranks with him and be of one voice to deal with the issues of violence and strife in our communities.
Father Dominic G, born on March 12, 1948, was ordained a Catholic priest on July 14, 1974. He achieved a historic milestone as the first Tiv indigenous priest to celebrate Golden Jubilee in the sacred vocation, also retiring as the first Tiv indigenous priest to do so. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makudi.
The paramount ruler of the Tiv Nation, His Royal Majesty Professor James Ayati, has called on the National Assembly to take concrete legislative steps towards ending insecurity in Nigeria. The Royal Father made a call when he received the First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, on a homage visit to him at his palace in Woku. Our correspondent Martha Iku was there and now reports.
Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, who was in Gboko to felicitate with the member representing Gboko Taka Federal Constituency at the Green Chamber, Mrs. Regina Akume, on her first year at the National Assembly, visited the Royal Palace of His Royal Majesty, Professor James Ayati. The President's wife, who was represented by the wife of the Speaker, House of Representatives, Hajia Fatima Abbas, was escorted on the mission by Benue State Deputy Governor Dr. Sam Ode. Afterwards, proceeding to the first open assembly by the House member and Chairman House Committee on NAFDAC, Chief Regina Akume. The Tiv commended the action of the Speaker, Federal House of Representatives, for having regards for the traditional institution and charged Nigeria's lawmakers to make laws that will move the country forward. He pledged support of the traditional institution to the current administration to facilitate lasting peace.
It is my prayer that this administration very wonderfully represented by eminent leaders in this nation. We take Nigeria to higher heights. On this occasion, I want to pledge the support of the Chief Area Traditional Council, the support of my subjects, the support of the people of Benue State, because I'm the chairman of the Traditional Council, in ensuring that we have a peaceful administration. And it's also my prayer that the House of Representatives that is one of them celebrating 1 year in office. I know many are also doing that in their different constituencies.
Professor Ayase, however, prayed for Mrs. Regina Akume to remain outstanding and impactful during her term. Representative of the First Lady, Hajia Fatima Abbas, conveying the message of the First Lady on her renewed hope agenda to the Royal Father, prayed for the reign of His Majesty to be prosperous.
We are here on behalf of our mother, the mother of the nation, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, Distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu CON, to pay homage to His Royal Majesty. May you live longer. May your reign be more peaceful and prosperous. Thank you so much.
Speaking at the first open assembly, the representative of the First Lady congratulated Mrs. Akume for her valuable achievement in 1 year of service to her constituency, calling on the people of Gboko Taka constituency to support Mrs. Akume.
No doubt, one of the critical elements in lawmaking is the ability to provide stewardship reports through community engagement and constituent feedback on timely basis. In fact, that was my hallmark during my stint in the Senate, and it has engendered a very cordial relationship between my humble self and my constituents. Hence, this event is designed to engage the constituents, the good people of Gboko and Taka, and to showcase her 1 year of valuable legislative experience and achievements. Congratulations.
The Benue State Deputy Governor, Dr. Sam Ode, who represented the state governor, congratulated the member representing Gboko Taka Federal Constituency for her first year in office and for coming back to give account of her stewardship, describing her as a woman of honor and virtue.
For every legislator, it is established that when your people give you the mandate to represent them, you are expected to come back and give account of the mandate that has been given to you to go and represent the people at the assembly. She offered herself to go and represent the people of Gboko Taka Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives. In 1 year, has she not done well? She has done well!
At the venue of the first open assembly in Gboko, Mrs. Akume briefed her constituency on her first year in office, expressing gratitude to them for the confidence in her. Other dignitaries present at the occasion were the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Joel Salifu, party men and women across the state, as well as people from the 2 local governments that made up the constituency. Martha Iku, Benue Television News. Gboko.
Thank you, Martha. Let's go on a very quick break. We will come back with more stories. Do stay with us. Welcome. Now, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has said it would continue to reject any proposed minimum wage that does not address the critical needs of the average worker in the country. It said for the government to ensure decent work, it must first ensure the workers earn decent wage that matches the prevailing cost of living. In a speech delivered at this year's school holding in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, NLC President Joe Ajaero said the reason organized labor was insisting on 250,000 naira as the new minimum wage was to avoid imposing slave wage on the poor workers. He said the world of work can only be fair when it is able to deliver on the 4 pillars of decent work. This includes a national minimum wage that speaks to the cost of living, because that is what the average Nigerian wages are supposed to take care of. He said that labor's demand for 250,000 naira is predicted on this to avoid the proposed slave wage by the country's social partners. Nigeria passport holders can now travel to the United Arab Emirates (UAE) with effect from July 15, 2014, after the federal government and the UAE reached a mutual agreement for the resumption of travel to the Gulf country. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, broke the news yesterday in a statement which he said was the outcome of the successful talks and extensive high-level negotiations between the authorities of both countries. The agreement includes updated controls and conditions to facilitate obtaining a UAE visa. The resumption of visas will be effective from July 15, 2024. He further stated that Nigerians wishing to learn more about the updated visa conditions from the UAE can visit Document Verification Hub oneword.ae for any additional information. Recall that UAE authorities held in December 2021 through Emirates Airlines announced that 8 African countries, including Nigeria, would not be allowed to travel through Dubai until further notice due to the spread of COVID-19. The ban from entering Dubai was later extended to 20 African countries, also including Nigeria, with effect from October 18, 2022. The other countries affected by the visa ban then were Uganda, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Sudan, Cameroon, Liberia, Burundi, Republic of Guinea, Gambia, Togo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Senegal, Benin, Ivory Coast, Congo, Rwanda, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Cameroon, and Dominican Republic. In a notice to trade partners and travel agents, UAE had said any visa applications from the affected countries would be rejected or cancelled. However, authorities in both countries stepped up the diplomatic efforts to resolve all the contending issues following a parley between President Bola Tinubu and UAE leader Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan in Abu Dhabi in September last year, where they finalized a historic agreement. The federal government has repatriated a total of 190 Nigerians from the United Arab Emirates, according to a statement released by the National Emergency Management Agency, signed by its Director General, Director North Central Zone Bashir Garga on Tuesday. The returnees arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja at 5:57 a.m. on Tuesday and were received by a combined team of government officials led by NEMA. NEMA reports that the returnees have undergone profiling and documentation by relevant agencies and have been sensitized on the importance of conducting themselves with decorum and responsibility upon their return to Nigeria. The federal government urges all Nigerians wherever they may be, to act as exemplary ambassadors of their country, upholding the fundamental values of patriotism, rule of law, decency, and integrity. Let's take another break. We'll be back shortly with more stories. Don't go away. Welcome, it's still Countrywide on Benway Television. Now, Association of Nigeria Refinery Petroleum Marketers ANRPM has called for collaboration from National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu on eliminating oil theft, listing youth restiveness, irregularities, exploitation, hoarding, sharp practice, artificial scarcity, adulterated product, and illegal bunkering as some challenges. It urged Administrator of Presidential Amnesty Program PAP Dennis Otuaro for support. National Coordinator of Operations and Administration Dr. Edison Nwadiaro spoke with newsmen in Abuja, saying that 6,438 illegal refineries had been discovered in Niger Delta. Edison noted that Nigeria will find it difficult to meet its production target because of oil theft on its pipeline. He further noted that the extent of damage are up to 4,880 illegal connection points along 5,000 kilometers of pipeline. More of such connection points have not been recovered, with 6,438 illegal refineries in Niger Delta, despite security agencies in the region. He said despite the integrity issues with the pipelines and facilities, Nigerians have the capacity to eradicate crude theft. In 2023, Nigeria lost 2.3 trillion naira in oil theft, higher than projected revenue from crude oil and gas sales in 2024, about 1 trillion naira. Nigeria spent 34.47 billion naira between 2024 and the first half of 2022 to fix pipelines. He urges NSA and Amnesty to work with ANRPM to support this administration in eliminating oil theft, youth restiveness, irregularities, exploitation, hoarding, and other challenges in the sector. Minister of Power Chief Adebayo Adelabu yesterday said the federal government is steadfast in its mission to transform the power sector. He spoke at the 9th edition of Nigeria Energy Forum NEF 2024 conference in Lagos with the theme Energizing Sustainable Industrialization. The minister said over the years, the federal government increases installed generation capacity by bringing new power plants online and rehabilitating existing ones. This has resulted in a substantial increase in the overall power supply to the national grid. Adelabu, represented by Dr. Sunday Owolabi, Director of Renewables and Rural Development, called on stakeholders, government agencies, private sector partners, international organizations, and Nigerians to join the federal government in this endeavor. Head Client Relations, Anglo West Africa, Afrexim Bank, Mr. Peter Olowononi, said the bank is one of the biggest financial institutions supporting energy and industrialization in Nigeria. Chief Executive Officer on Caroline Ebobwa said the mission of the company was accelerating the closing of access to energy gap in Nigeria with a special focus on Niger Delta. Sven Barra, Norway, ambassador to Nigeria, said Norway is supporting development of solar and battery energy for supermarket chain Just Right in Nigeria and delivering an energy for development program for mitigating gas flaring in oil and gas installations. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology Uche Naji has said biotechnology will lead to higher economic growth rate driven by licensing agreements, patents and commercialization of goods. Naji, represented by a deputy director at the ministry, Agoro Olayiwola, spoke yesterday at the opening of Nigeria International Conference on Biotechnology. He said the ministry prioritized creation of a supportive ecosystem for startups, giving them resources, mentorship, incubators, accelerators, and networking. This will make them grow, create jobs, introduce products, services, and stimulate competition. Director General of National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, noted Nigeria, with its dynamic population and growing technical capabilities, is positioned to leverage biotechnology for transformative growth. Mustafa reiterated the need to invest in research and development, strengthen educational institutions, and create an enabling environment for innovation and entrepreneurship. He added biotechnology offers personalized medicine, ensuring treatment is tailored to individual patients, thereby improving outcomes and reducing healthcare costs. The Director General noted that by investing in biopharmaceuticals, research and development, the country can create a robust healthcare industry and become a hub for medical tourism and pharmaceutical exports. However, he said development of new vaccines, diagnostic tools and therapies can address endemic diseases. He noted that adoption of biotechnology can reduce Nigeria's food import bill and improve livelihoods. He further stated that biotechnology provides innovative solutions for waste management, pollution control, and renewable energy production. This aligns with the federal government's commitment to achieving United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and ensuring a healthier planet. Industrial biotechnology can revolutionize manufacturing processes, making them more efficient, more effective, and environmentally friendly. That's all we have for you on Countrywide, but before we go, let's take a recap of the top stories. Governor Alia charged in federal institutions to support renewed hope agenda of the federal government. Also, UAE lifts travel ban on Nigerian travelers, and we intimated you also that federal government to transform power sector. On behalf of our crew, thanks so much for watching. My name is Winifred Yosudu. Have a great day.